In the previous video, we extracted the layer from the ship re node. Now, let's see how to work with those different layers. So first, I'd like to organize myself a little bit in order to know what is what. And for that, I'd like to rename my nodes accordingly to the passes that I'm shuffling. So let's start with the shuffle number 1. I will double click on the property on the node to open the properties here, and I can see that this shuffle 1 is shuffling the emission layer. So I will come here and I will rename my node emission. Now I need to, as you can see here, it doesn't change anything, but if I click somewhere else, it changed the name. It's when you're leaving the box that it validates the name that you entered right here. So now I do have my shuffle that's shuffle the emission layer. Okay, I will do the same thing with the shuffle 2. So we'll double click on the shuffle 2 to open it. And here is the fill light. So I will type fill light and I can as well hit the enter key. There we go. Now I will do the shuffle 3, and the shuffle 3 is the key lights. There is a shortcut to rename a node and it's the N key. So I will hit the N key and now I will be able to type key light, okay, and hit enter. Great. And the last one is the rim light. So we'll do the same thing, rim light, and hit enter. Perfect. Now we have our 4 nodes renamed and we'll be able to know a little bit better what is what. Another useful thing we can use here is postage stamp. And a postage stamp is like this thing here. It's a little preview of the node and what is the image at that node of your comp. So for that, I will select my node and go to Edit, Node, and postage stamp on off. And here we have a little preview of our emission pass. I can do that as well using the shortcut Alt P on the selected nodes. And here I have a little preview of my fill lights, key lights, rim lights. This postage stamp thing work on any node in Nuke. And for example, on that merge node, I can select it and do Alt P, and I will have a postage stamp of the current status of my comp at that node. So this is very useful, but remember that this is power consuming and this may considerably slow down Nuke. So I will be very careful by using it, especially in the comp tree. If it's for a renode, it's okay, but like for a merge like that, I wouldn't use it if I were you. Some comper will even prefer to disable the postage stamps of their renode just to speed up a little bit their script. Well, it's up to you. At least for me, I'd like to keep it for my renodes because sometimes it becomes a little bit confusing. So there we go. Perfect. Okay, now, in order to use those passes, what I'd like to do first is to recreate my beauty. So let me clarify a little bit all of that. We will have an entire course focusing on working with render passes, or also called AOVs, but here is just an overview. A good habit is to first recreate the beauty, which is the RGBA of your original layer. And most of the time, the layer you will find in your RGBA will help you to recreate that beauty. Okay, this is a little bit confusing. Why are we breaking down all those layers if it's for recreating the original render? Well, you will understand that in a minute. So here, the lighter has been splitting the different lights into different passes in order to give us the possibility to adjust those light intensity and color separately. And most of the time, the render layers are merged with a plus operation. So we are going to do that right here. So I will come here and create a merge node by using the M key of my keyboard, and I will connect the fill light in A and the emission in B. It really doesn't matter what is the order, but let's do it that way, okay? And so I will double click on my merge node and I will come into the properties and I will change the operation for plus. Okay, let's see the result of that merge node. So right now we do have the emission here and the fill light. And now we plus them together. Okay, cool. Let's repeat. I will make a little bit of space here and make my viewer a little bit bigger. Okay, I will repeat that thing and I will do a Control-C, Control-V to create another merge node. And when I create that merge node, it automatically connects to the A input of my merge. But a good habit to have here is always to connect the B input to the previous merge and the A input to the other shuffle. So I'd like to invert those things. So I could do it manually by disconnecting that guy here and connect it here and like that. But what I could do as well, and I will do that with the next merge node, and I will do Control-C, Control-V, is when it connects to one input and you'd like the other one to be connected, we have a shortcut that allow you to swap the different inputs. And that shortcut is Shift X. Perfect. As you can see, Shift X allows me to toggle between A and B. Okay, I wanted the B to be connected to my merge and the A to be connected to my rim lights. Okay, perfect. Now, let's compare our original beauty with the beauty we recreated. So I will make sure that the merge 9 here is connected to my viewer in the input number 1. So with the key 1 of your keyboard. And I will select my ship up there and do the key number 2 of my keyboard to connect my viewer as well to the same viewer. And I will zoom on my ship a little bit and I will toggle between 1 and 2, 1 and 2. And as you can see, it's exactly the same thing. It means that our CG breakdown, this is what we call a CG breakdown, works well. All right, for example, let's say we forgot the rim light. I will select that node and disable it with the hotkey D. Okay, now let's see. As you can see, we are missing something. There is something that's not there. So I know that there is a problem in my CG breakdown. All right, I will re-enable that node with the D key. All right, and now, as you can see, we do have exactly the same thing. Perfect. Oh, I don't know why this thing got turned on. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. As you can see, it's the same thing. Perfect. All right. Now you're gonna tell me, okay, why did we do all that CG breakdown if we just keep the same results? Well, it's just important to make sure that everything is correct with the passes. And now that we know that everything is correct with those passes, we are going to start tweaking them separately and adjusting them as we want.